My name is Aisha Khaled, and if you had met me just a few months ago, you would have seen a girl who believed in love, in family, and in the sacred bond between parents. I was 24, freshly graduated, with dreams of building a career and making my mother proud. My world was small, but safe, centered around my parents, especially my mother, Shanaz, who was my best friend, my guide, my anchor. She was everything I aspired to be, strong, graceful, and endlessly patient. I thought my father, Khalid, adored her just as much as I did. Together, they seemed unshakable. But life has a cruel way of showing you that what looks perfect from the outside can be rotten at the core. And I learned that lesson in the most brutal way possible. On the day I buried my mother and discovered the woman my father had been hiding from us all along. The morning of my mother's funeral was heavy with silence. The house smelled of incense and grief. Relatives whispered in the hallways, their eyes swollen with tears, while I stood frozen in my black dress, staring at my reflection in the mirror. I didn't recognize myself. I looked older, broken, as if a part of me had been buried alongside her already. When we arrived at the church, the air felt thick. The casket sat at the front, polished, cruelly beautiful, holding the woman who had given me life. I touched the cold wood, whispering to her, "I'll be strong for you, Mama." But little did I know, strength would be ripped from me before the day was over. Chapter 2. A stranger walks in. The service began. People filled the pews, murmuring prayers. My father, Khalid, sat beside me, his face like stone. He hadn't cried once, not at the hospital, not at the burial, not even when I collapsed in his arms the night she died. At first, I thought it was strength, but looking back, it was guilt. He kept glancing at the church doors, his jaw tight, his fingers restless. It was as if he was waiting for something or someone. And then she came. A woman. Tall, striking, wrapped in black, but not in mourning. Her eyes scanned the room until they landed at me and lingered. I didn't know her, but her gaze carried a weight, as if she had been waiting for this very moment. Whispers spread through the crowd. I saw my father stiffen, his lips tightening. My stomach churned with unease. She walked forward, confident, unapologetic, until she stood beside my mother's casket.
The priest's voice trembled as he tried to continue, but the woman interrupted, her voice clear and sharp. "I am sorry for your loss," she said, but her eyes were on me, not my mother. Then she turned to my father. "But today is not just about mourning. Today, truths should be buried or revealed." The church gasped. My heart thudded painfully in my chest. My father rose to his feet, his mask of grief cracking for the first time. "Samina, not here, not today." Samina. So that was her name. I blinked at them both, confusion clawing at me. Who is she?" I asked. And then, with a voice that cut deeper than any knife, the woman, Samina, looked straight at me and said, "I am the woman your father has been hiding for years." At first, I laughed. It was a bitter, broken laugh, because it seemed impossible. My father? Khalid? The man who told me loyalty was everything? The man who sat by my mother's hospital bed, whispering prayers into her ears? No, it couldn't be true. But then, I saw it. The look on his face. Not shock, not denial, recognition. The church exploded into whispers. Some people stood to leave, others stayed frozen in their seats. My knees buckled and I gripped the pew to keep from falling. "Tell me she's lying," I begged him, my voice trembling, but my father said nothing. Nothing at all. That silence broke me more than her words. Samina didn't stop. No, she was merciless. I was with him when your mother was alive. All those late nights at work, he was with me. Those trips he said were business, they were with me. And when your mother was sick, when she needed him most, he came to me instead. Her words poisoned my veins. Memories flashed, my mother's tears at night, her silence at dinner, the way she clung to me like I was her only lifeline. I thought it was the sickness that broke her. But no, it was betrayal. And she carried that pain alone, just to protect me.
Finally, my father spoke. His voice was hoarse, low, but steady. It's true. 2 words, that's all it took to destroy me. I stared at him, my vision blurred with tears. You cheated on her? While she was sick? While she was dying? He lowered his head. I never stopped loving your mother, but I was weak. I made mistakes. Mistakes? My voice rose, sharp and broken. Forgetting an anniversary is a mistake. Saying the wrong thing is a mistake. You betrayed her. You betrayed me. That's not a mistake. That's evil. And if my pain wasn't enough, Samina smirked, her eyes glinting with cold satisfaction. She knew, she said. Your mother knew about me. She just chose silence. That's why she looked so defeated, so broken, because she lived with the truth, while you lived in the lie. Her words stabbed me again and again. If Mama knew, if she carried that torment in silence just to keep my world from falling apart, then her death was even crueler than I imagined. I wanted to scream, to tear apart the church, to erase Samina's smug face from existence, but all I could do was cry. Cry for my mother, for myself, for the family I thought I had, but never truly did. The funeral ended in chaos. Guests left in disgust. Some stayed only to whisper scandal. My father tried to reach for me, his eyes begging, but I pulled away as if his touch burned me. I ran outside, choking on sobs, the sound of church bells mocking me in the background. Samina followed. Her heels clicked against the pavement, sharp and cruel. You hate me now, she said calmly, but one day you'll see I gave you freedom. Freedom from illusions, from a father who never deserved your loyalty. I turned to her, rage coursing through my veins. You didn't give me freedom. You murdered everything I had left. My mother is gone, and you just buried the memory of my father with her. And with that, I walked away. It's been months since that day, but the wound still bleeds. I buried my mother in the ground, but I also buried the image of the father I once loved. I don't know if forgiveness will ever come. I don't know if I can ever look at Khaled without seeing betrayal. And Samina, she may think she won, but she'll never replace what she destroyed. One truth remains. The cruelest betrayals don't come from enemies. They come from family. And sometimes, the woman your father hides, when she finally steps into the light, doesn't just reveal a secret. She tears your heart apart forever. Don't forget to subscribe to Tearstrings and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next emotional story. And I'd love to hear from you. What would you do if you were in Aisha's place? Tell me in the comments below. Your thoughts mean so much.